Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just got another interesting video to maybe try. And I have some really good teammates, and they took a look at the all-fighter ship upgrade video I did a while ago. And one of them pointed out something and asked the question. He was like, hey, do you think that maybe by not resetting after you did all the ship upgrades that maybe it didn't set in properly? And, it was a question. And I had to think about it. And I said, well, if you look at the all fighter video that I did, when I did the actual main guns, you could see that that it went up in score. But then after I did the missile and the wing gun, I actually lost points on the missile. And then I actually was still a little bit short on equaling out to even the main gun score that I had got. And you got to think, I mean, that's 9 plus ships fully upgraded. And, we did see an increase. And then when you see the technology videos that I do, you can always see an increase or decrease, without resetting. But for the sake of the game, I mean, I guess we'll call this technology versus ship upgrades. And so originally that's how I did that video is, I went into the forums and, a lot of the players were saying, oh, well, you don't get a really big increase from the technology for what it's worth. And you should always do your ship upgrades. And I took the advice one day and, without doing a video and stuff, I started doing the ship upgrades, and I started doing just my own little testing without, thinking about videos and stuff like that. And I noticed I wasn't getting a bigger increase to the Titans or the bosses. And that's when I started saying, there's got to be a different way we can do this and test this. And that's how I came up with the original do the ship upgrades work. And so again, one of my good teammates, he said, why don't you try resetting it? And, maybe we'll do that. I still have my Titan to do today. And so what I was going to do is let's just take what I have. And you guys can see, I upgrade my ships. Regardless if they work or not, I still upgrade them. So a lot of people say, well, don't upgrade the ships, or do I still upgrade them? Well, according to the ship upgrade video that I did, we did see an increase when I did the actual main gun. So I don't know, maybe, and I'll just give this maybe a benefit of the doubt thought into this, maybe there's only a certain amount of ships that you can upgrade until it hits a peak that we're not seeing. I mean, that's just, we wouldn't be able to know. I guess if we did, 19 million different other tests, maybe we could figure that out. But that's not fair still. I mean, if you're doing a ship upgrade at 15%, you should see an increase. But, a lot of people, try to, and I say this in a lot of my videos, a lot of people try to spit out numbers and, oh, the XYZ equals ABC. And it's like, I don't believe that. I don't believe any of the numbers. I don't care what anybody says. You can be mad at me for saying that over and over. But again, with chance, luck, critical damage, misses, dodges, whatever you want to say, I mean, you're always going to have a different number. And so it's really hard to say, is that really the numbers that you're getting? I mean, I don't think anybody can truly prove that that's a fact that they're saying about the numbers. And I'll say it a couple different ways, and I've said it in my other videos, going back to your technologies, and let's just do that real quick. I mean, when you go to increase main gun base attack, I've said it in the other videos, 50%. What does 50% mean? I mean, am I going to get a 50% increase to my score? Because that never happens. I can tell you that right now. And so, okay, here's another way that you can go. So with 50%, okay, there's another way to look at this. So when you go to your Planet Wars, that 50% base is literally, so let's go like this real quick. That there is a way that you can see the increase to the 50%, but it's not 50%. So your base, when you do the 50%, you will see an increase to basically your main gun attack, wing gun, and missile attack. And so is it a complete 50%? I don't think that it is a complete 50%. So, and again, when you're upgrading to the 50% outside of that technology, it's not very powerful. Even though we're seeing these big numbers here, it's not that much more powerful versus if you're going against a player, your player technology is going to be more powerful than that base. And so what is that base really telling us? I mean, again, I don't believe in the numbers. I don't get into that. I don't really get into this game that way. So, but again, when you do your 50% bases on each weapon and even your armor, that's where you're going to see these big increases to your numbers right here. And so I know if you do a 50%, or well, it doesn't do 50, but if you do your armor, your HP is going to go up. And so you can see the value into the base. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. You can, but again, I've noticed that I'm going to get a bigger hit against the players not doing my base versus doing against players. And so that's just me, doing this, just a little tip while we're getting into this. But again, the reason why I'm bringing that up again is I'm not a big numbers guy. I don't really, because again, I've shown several videos where numbers do not add up in any way, shape, or form, nor do they make any sense. And you can ask people about it, and you're going to get an answer, different answer from every player that you're asking. So again, I don't get into the big numbers thing, but the reason why I'm showing you guys the technology again, here's my little semi-technology, a little bit more set up for Planet Wars in a general way that I've set it up. That way I can play Titan. I might not get the biggest Titan. I might not get the biggest scores on anything, but I've been trying to work on just a little generalized technology setup, and I'm constantly changing this all the time, guys. So don't take this one too literal. But I'm not going to change this, and this is what we're going to do. Here's my technologies versus the ship upgrades. So I'm showing you guys my technology. I guess just to make this even more fair. Okay, I've got Freya on. So there's no certain weapon that, should be more impacted by the pilot. Of course, your attributes and stuff do affect an overall. But right here, you're seeing it. I have Freya. And so, again, the way we can do this is, let's just do technology versus ship upgrades, okay? And so I will do my first Titan run with my technology setup here. And yes, guys, I do change my name throughout the game. I do. That's something that I enjoy doing. I don't like being the same name out there and just keep people guessing. So I am Thundar as of right now. So I know in a lot of my past videos that I started, I was Panthro. And so I do change that every once in a while. And that way you guys can wonder if I'm the same person. Yes, I'm the same person. So, but here we go. Let's just do a technology run. So is technology better than the ship upgrades? And again, you can ask these questions a million times in the forums, and I think you're going to get a million different answers every single time. Yeah, it just seems like everybody has the answer for themselves, and then they apply that as fact, and it might work good for you. But, there is a few other little factors. And again, guys, we can do these 100 different ways, and eventually maybe we'll get to the 100 or the million different ways. But in the meantime, at least we have a ground basis of starting on the questions and having some type of comparison. And my encouragement to everybody out there again is try it yourself. Try your setup. Try something different. Question the game. See if it's working. See if we can get support from Wing Fighter and mini game to fixing these. And that's what it's about. We just want to make sure that the game's working, and especially for the players paying into it, you want to make sure that your money's worth it. And so I'm I'm going to play this just a little bit back here, guys, just a little bit here. I'm not going to get too terribly crazy and fancy, again, especially on the testing, because it seems like everybody, again, has a million different ways to do this, and I'm sorry I can't do it a million ways to make everybody happy on the test. And again, you know, I say this over and over, these are generalized videos. Generalized. That way we can start, you know, answering somewhat of the questions and getting a basis, and again, you know, showing everybody that you can play this game a different way and try to get your own answers yourself for your own setup. So take it exactly that literal, but at the same time, I mean, at least somebody's out here trying to come to sense to some of the questions and trying to come and give some answers. So I've been kind of proud of the page for that, you know, I want the proof. And again, I'm just going to do this a simple way. I'm not going to fly all over the screen right now. I'm not going to do a bunch of other stuff here. So we're just going to do just a general take on this. And then when we do the ship all fighters, and the other reason why I'm doing it this way is we're going to try to mimic the exact same way. But again, in the forums, you're going to have a lot of people say, you know, again, the technology is not worth the stars and everything you're putting into it versus the ship upgrades. Now, here's the thing for me, again, on the ship upgrades, and let's think about this for a second. If it says 15% increase to all fighters, 15% even to a single fighter, 15%, that's a pretty big assumption that you should be able to get a way bigger score. And if you're doing multiple ships at 15%, now let's go back to the whole numbers game and why I don't believe in numbers. I mean, if you got 9 ships at 15%, should we not see an incredibly big score? I mean, let's be realistic here. I mean, 15% times 9. How do you do the math on that? Where do you figure out what the 15% is? Where do you, I mean, so the whole number game, and guys that get into the whole number stuff, like I said, I just don't buy it. I don't get into it. Again, nobody can prove to me what that question was. Okay, so right here, guys, 420.3 billion, okay, with technology. Again, I don't have the exact technology I'd normally completely do on the Titan. That's kind of a mid-grade technology that I have set up. So that makes it kind of a fair also, because I'm not just pumping one side up for the Titan. But I tell you what, if I was thinking what I just told you about the 15%, I would be thinking I'm pumping up for the Titan by being able to do my ship upgrades here. So technology versus ship upgrades. Okay, so reset technology. I'm going to get all my stuff back here. Okay. Okay, so no technology. You guys can see it's all reset. And that way I can put my stars into my ships, where some believe the ship upgrade is more important than the technology. And the technology is, you know, doesn't give you the bang for the star value. And that's how I started this, though, guys. That's because that was said so many times and still is said. And so here's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my fighters, and you can see I've got some of this pumped up. I mean, I've got some of it pumped up. But let's do a missile. I'm going to pump this up, guys, okay? Okay. And so there's a missile. I'll do as many of these as I can. So that's one ship at 15%. Let's go upgrade, evolve. Bear with me with the tapping sound here, guys. I'm actually on my phone here, so you're going to hear tapping. And So that's 2 ships. Okay. Here will be, and again at 15%. Now keep adding 15%. I mean, again, number guys, talk to us. What does that mean? So again, I just that drives me crazy watching everybody spitting out the numbers and stuff. It really does drive me crazy, because it's like, really? How do you totally believe that and know that? Where's your proof? Where's your videos? Where's your... I don't care what it says on a sheet. I don't care. I want to see raw proof, and that's where these videos have been pretty important. But right here, here's 3 all fighters at 15%. I've got a little bit of room to grow here still. Okay. And so we'll do the same thing. Yeah, bear with me with the tapping sound again, guys. I know that could be a little annoying, but here. There's 4 all fighters at 15%. Okay, and I still have room for 1 more. And here will be the 5th one I have done. 5 additional ships at 15% all fighters. Or 15% to the fighter. I mean... I don't know, guys. Okay, I don't know. Okay. So we should see a massive, massive, massive increase to fighting that Titan. Would y'all not agree to that? I mean, massive. Just kind of like I did on my first one. When I did my first showing everybody that they don't work. In that video, I proved that it didn't really work. Pretty disappointing. And so here it is. But okay, so we're going to do something different. Bear with me, guys. So right here, look at this. I mean, it can't get any more ridiculous than this. We got 4, 8, 12, 13, including my Conquer, all fighter 15 versus technology. I mean, really? And you guys can see I do have all the other ships a little bit upgraded here. And in my all fighter first video, I kind of show you guys how I set those up and to try to save your stars. And, you know, if you're going after the weapons versus HP, blah, blah. So I'm not going to bore you with that. But this is ridiculous. So I don't care what anybody says. We should be able to see an incredibly huge score. Wouldn't you agree? And again, this is the topic in the forums. You'll see people say, don't do the technology again. Go to your all fighters and da-da-da-da. So here's what I'm going to do, though. I am going to reset this, guys. I reset it. Just to make sure that it sets in. Because that was the question from, you know, one of my teammates. Maybe you should have reset it. And again, I don't believe that. I don't, because again, it shows in all the technology videos, and even in that last all fighter, that the main gun did show an increase, but then after that, it just went completely downhill. So I did reset it, guys. It's reset. 13 all fighter ships at 15%. And again, what's the math on that? I don't think anybody knows. I just can't wrap my head around that, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so Titan Challenge. All fighter ships versus technology, okay? And again, with the amount of stars, time, just energy, 13 ships. I mean, we should just be blowing this Titan away, right? Just completely spanking this Titan. And let's see. Let's see what happens, guys, okay? And I'm going to do it pretty much the same way. At least try to be pretty, you know, fair to it. we should just be spanking this Titan with... I mean, that's ridiculous, right, guys? I mean... Okay. Yeah, 15%, 13 ships, all fighters. Oops, sorry here, guys. I mean, come on, man. We should just be whooping this Titan's tail with that. And again, I want to hear the math guys tell me what that means. Oh boy. And I did reset it, so there's no excuses either on that one. And so I can already tell you right now, this isn't looking good. Why in the world am I collecting stars and trying to get these gigantic achievements if they don't work? And so this will potentially be the second video proving that the all fighters do not work. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, everybody's complaining about little ticks and things like that in this game. And boy, why is nobody truly going after minigame and wing fighter saying, what is this problem going on? Do you think that we are dumb players? Do you think that we wouldn't test this? Do you not think that we have proof to this? But again, that's 15% all fighters. 13. You should just be spanking. And I mean just spanking this Titan. And guys, look, it's not going that great. I reset it. I spent millions and millions of what? Almost 30 million, 28 million, 25 million, I guess, if you break it really, really down. 25 million stars to not have a great result so far. That takes forever to do. And so, again, with that much power, 15%, 13, that much power, I mean, shouldn't that like triple, quadruple my score? Even without the technology? Right? Yes? No? Oh, what a disappointment here, guys. So right here is... Oh, man, what a disappointment. So, you know, after doing my testing and stuff, I realized right away, I was like, man, you know what? I don't care if I have a bigger looking ship. I don't care if I look more powerful. And okay, so, you know, I told my teammate too, I was like, you know how we get into these planet wars and there can be a guy that looks like he's, you know, 2 million, but you're just spanking him like you're or even reverse. And sometimes wonder why somebody's spanking somebody else. A smaller guy is beating one of these really big guys, is because these big guys believe that the all fighter ship upgrades work. And if I did that, I can look big and powerful in the game, and I don't. I put all of my stars and max out my technologies because I know I'm going to be able to beat more big players that don't understand that technology is more powerful than the all fighters. And here it is again, guys. I mean, everybody should be screaming at the top of their lungs at Wing Fighter and Minigame saying, what is this crap? I mean, we spend millions of stars. We take tons and tons and tons of time to play this game. We take tons of time to get these huge achievements, what we think are huge achievements, and they don't work. They don't do anything. They don't do, because right here, I mean, literally 200 billion difference in score. I mean, Come on, guys. I mean, is it just me again? I put out that video the first time, and I proved that the all-fighter ships, it's broke. It's been broke. Why is there not an uproar? Why am I seemingly the only guy, even after putting the video out there, showing it to other people, the only one that seemingly knows this? And I know my subscribers know this, but guys, why? Frustrating. Very frustrated here. And well, here it is, guys. Technology versus ship upgrades. Always go into the technology. Don't try to make yourself look bigger. Be smart. Use your technology. Max your technology out first. Still invest into your ship upgrades. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you can max one out, hey, do it. I mean, so again, the first, man, I don't even have to say this. The first few ship upgrades, I think, work. When I did my test again, the main gun, I did my main guns and I saw an increase, but after that, to the missile and to the wing gun, it was all downhill. So I don't know if, again, maybe there's a certain amount of ships that you can do and you'll see a little increase, and then after that it's just cut off, or, but it's just sad. This is just sad. I mean, very disappointing. 13 ships, 15% all fighter upgrades. What? Okay, guys, even in the disappointment, you know, we still love the game. We're just cheering on Wingfighter to fix this stuff and to be more honest to the players and make sure that, you know, we're getting a bang for our buck here. But this is not good. But I will say this again, as I do at the end of my videos, just have fun. Don't be afraid to try something new. Record your videos and compare, and till the next video, guys.